Welcome back to Mrs. Fred Arted, where I am Mrs. Fred, and we are going to get started on a pretty fun art project that's all about you. Here we go. So before we get started, let's get going with our art motto. Here we go. I will try my best, I will be creative, and I will problem solve. Now today, we're going to be doing quite a bit of problem solving today. We're talking about the word proportion. Now proportion is really about size relationships in your artwork. Let me give you an example. Check out my girl that I drew here. Pretty fancy, except for she's a little out of proportion. I know, I'll say it. Her ears are way too big for this drawing, and so are her eyes. But then we look at her nose, her mouth, and her neck, and they are way too small. This poor girl is out of proportion. Now let me give you an example of somebody who's a little bit more aligned. Check her out. We can see in this drawing, it makes more sense. Her eyes, nose, and mouth are about the size we would expect them to be in a drawing. Their size relationship makes sense to us. So in our artwork today, we are going to be learning how to draw a portrait or self-portrait of these type of people. So these people are you. And we're going to make self-portraits that are done in proportion, but also in rainbow color. Now, when I was working through this, I couldn't find the right crayon color for my skin tone. And so what I decided to do is lightly layer loads and loads of colors onto my page. And the effect is absolutely gorgeous. The trick to this type of coloring is to layer the color on and color very, very lightly. Now it might not look like it, but on this version of Mrs. Fred, I have every single color of the rainbow on here. Now, let's get started and see how you do with your proportion self-portraits. Are you ready? Let's go. Today in art, I can draw a self-portrait, learn about portrait proportions, and rainbow color my portrait. Woohoo! I am ready. Today you will need a piece of paper, a pencil, eraser, and a permanent marker, and also some coloring tools. I highly recommend using crayons for this particular project. Now we're going to break this down into simple shapes. I have a circle, and I'm just putting a large U shape underneath. I'm going to do light lines here and divide my face in half. Then I will divide it in half again, and one more time in half at the bottom. Now, at this first half point, this is actually where your eyes go. Each eye is about an eye width apart. So you saw me measuring with my pencil, make an eye shape, and then that exact same space in between those eyes, and then make another eye shape. I'm just gonna go ahead and use some curved lines to fill in my eyes. I'll need some eyelids, some pupils, and eyelashes. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my eyebrows. Now the nose, a lot of people get tricked by the nose, but it's just a series of curved lines. Watch what I'm doing. If it moves too fast, go ahead and repeat by rewinding. We're down moving the mouth, and then now we're going to do the hairline. The hairline comes down a lot farther than you think, and the ears are about as even with the eyes. Now that we have our lines, we're going to sketch out some hair and make it look like your very own head of hair. If you have short hair, you can use a series of zigzagged or curved lines near the top of your head. Now what I'm doing is just marking in with my dark marker the lines that I want to keep. So I've done some light sketching on my page, but now I want to mark in only the lines I want to keep. So we're looking at hair, the outline of the eyes, nose, mouth, and so on. Now, I am going to be adding on every single color of the rainbow, but the trick here is to add colors very, very lightly at first. Add many, many layers, but layer them very lightly. Very little pressure on those crayons, and you will have a magical effect.